We are recording. Hello, everybody. I'm Lisa Jones.
Hello, I'm Goldyn Duffy.
And we are the Real Ones.
So happy to be here. Happy Monday to our YouTubers and podcasters. We're so happy to share this time.
Absolutely. And we're going to jump right on Facebook because it's already 11.
We're running a little behind.
Just a minute or two behind, which
it's all good. But apparently people wait for us. So
yeah, they start saying, "Where are you? Where are you?"
Which is kind of nice.
It is.
Yeah, it makes you feel loved.
We have real,
yeah,
fans, and they watch us on their big screens TVs.
I know. I love that. We're already on TV, and that's our manifestation, because that is just our.
We're like. Yeah. We want a TV show, and we have a TV show now because people watch it on their TV
screen. Taking it to the big screen.
That's right. All right. What's our title for today?
All right. So when I shared, I just said we're going to talk about manifesting. I just did like a 45-minute video on another piece.
All right. I'll just say manifesting. All right. Good. I love manifesting because interesting how things manifest.
Hi, Facebook.
Hey, Facebook. Aloha Monday. We are so happy to be here.
So psyched. So psyched. I feel like I'm on fire today. Like I've just got a fire under my butt. Like just excited to share, excited to talk about manifesting, excited to talk about being a powerful creator, because this is the best time ever.
Awesome. I'm going to just say welcome.
Cool.
Welcome and say where you are from.
Yeah, we are here for you.
I was just talking to a friend of mine down on the beach, and he used to be he was in the movies and did all sorts of amazing things. And I said, well, I got to run because I've got a show that I'm going on, and he's like, well, wait, explain to me how that works exactly. I said, well, we go on Zoom, and then I hit record, and then we go live on Facebook, and then when it's over, we add some extra stuff, and then I download it and upload it to YouTube, and then, the podcast. And he's just like, do you know, back in my day, that would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to do. And
that's amazing.
Isn't it so cool that we live in a time when we can do this and create our own show? I mean, it's just really, talk about manifesting.
It's really fantastic. And the level of brilliance that goes into it to manifest past anything that tells us that we can't figure this out is gold. It's gold.
So exciting. It's so exciting. I actually helped him yesterday with his taxes, which, I used to be a tax accountant, and I kind of like it. I'm kind of a nerdy, person, and I love that. And he just was like in awe. He's like, Lisa, like, you helped me. He's like, I saw the tip of the iceberg. He's like, I had no idea that when we went in that there was all this other stuff going on. And it was just so like,
and it comes so naturally to you.
Naturally. Yeah. And it was, thankfully he didn't have a lot of really crazy stuff. Cause sometimes it is crazy. If you got lots going on, it's kind of beyond me, but his was pretty straight. But it felt so good to be able to help him. And he was just, he's like, seriously, that was the best thing this century that's happened to me. And I'm like, wow.
That's fantastic. And I think that people, realizing when you do help people, like the high that you get from helping people is kind of the currency, especially when, if we don't put everything in monetary, you have to pay me to do this, which Lisa and I are kind of have moved away from that, just trying to create from an industry that is so money hungry and so about telling you that you're no good and you need our programs to be better. We've decided to pull away from that and to create abundance, because our abundance doesn't come from this. Our abundance comes from being tuned into abundance and being empowered to empower others to live their passions and their gifts. So that's our currency.
So true. And it's just amazing because you're always provided for. The universe has your back no matter what. Always. And I mean, I'm learning that. I'm still learning that every day, that it doesn't, it's amazing that if
it doesn't matter how much money you have, apparently you can still learn that.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. You can still learn that and rest in the knowledge that you've always, the universe always has your back.
Yeah.
Which brings me to this crazy weekend and me calling out to the universe and asking for some, I think, what did I say? I need some good I need some positive energy, calling all angels or something like that.
You got a lot of beautiful support. That
I
was
am
nice.
telling you, I was blown away. Not only just, I mean, it's still, people are still chiming in and sending me positive energy, but it almost felt like by me just putting it out there like that, it was almost like the universe, my angels, my guides, my beings of love and light, all of my passed away loved ones. It was like I was amped up. And unfortunately, I'm sad to say that as wonderful as my boyfriend was and as wonderful as I am, we just ultimately, I decided that we weren't wonderful together. And so I needed to break up with him. And you know, it was just such an interesting experience. And so I had asked if we could meet in a public place, and I had brought his things, and you know, and I just said, I've decided you know, we have two different communication styles, and I want him to be him and I want to be me. And so, you know, he's an amazing person and I wish him well, but I just decided I couldn't be with him. And I love the support that I received from all my friends and family. And I had people reach out. I mean, even my sweet ex-husband immediately texted me. He's like, "What's going on? Do you want to talk? I'm here for you."
Oh
my God, you know, so thank you.
There's so much expansion and growth that happens in this journey. And I think when we put ourselves out there and we really share vulnerably, like what's going on, you know, that's the empowerment piece of this, is that, you know, so many people are going through the same things, but often we're ashamed. You know, we feel, you know, you had this amazing relationship that looked like it was going to be something, and you shared from that energy. And to be able to share that so eloquently and so just wholeheartedly and authentically, I think is just amazing. And it gives a lot of credit to your journey and what you've learned, and how much you've let go of giving a shit what people think.
Yeah. And really deciding that what do I need, you know, from me, and what's important, and not being the people pleaser, you know. I mean, I spent really my life trying to please everybody outside of me, and then I end up suffering. And so now that I can identify more quickly for myself when I'm not being authentically me, then, you know, it's just better for everybody. Again, I want everybody to be 100% themselves, and I don't want to create, you know, some sort of like, oh, well, you have to change in order to fit into my my world.
Well, and it's interesting when you come to that knowing of your, you know, your authentic self and who you are and what you want to create, instead of creating from your wounds and your traumas of needing love, regardless of what sacrifice you're going to have to make, then you can step into a wholesome and loving, incredible relationship. So that's what I see for you. That's what I'm excited about, because this is just another step on your journey towards everything that you've ever wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been so interesting too, because I do have some friends, and well, I just want to caveat this too, because it's funny. I mean, we are authentic on this show. We share a lot of things. And also please know that as I'm sharing, like, I don't also need to be rescued or, you know, like I've had people call other people that I've mentioned, and,
Please
you know,
don't do that.
checking in on other people.
Please don't do that.
Calling me. And again, not that it's such a weird fine line between being supportive, but also,
it's hard. I know.
Yeah, because I'm trying to be authentic and share, but also I don't want people then to be impacted by what I share. And, you know, I don't know. I'm not explaining myself clearly.
No, you are. And you know, it's just like what we're putting out there is probably more than we should, like in the world of making ourselves look good and making ourselves look like we're the experts, you know. But I think what we're doing again is changing the industry and just sharing ourselves so authentically, and hoping that in that there's no aftermath of people getting up.
Oh, you just froze. Say that again. You're hoping that people don't.
I'm hoping that people don't get upset with us for. Am I breaking up?
Yeah, breaking up.
Is that me or you?
I don't know.
Look good. Well, it says my internet connection is unstable.
Oh, maybe it's you.
So I was saying, we're sharing, hopefully there's no repercussions and no one gets hurt by what we share, because we're just sharing the real shit that's really happening to us.
Right.
And we're not looking to hurt people or call people out. We're just really we're sharing from our heart. So
right.
hopefully that works for people. If it doesn't, again, like, It's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. And so anyway, and now of course I forgot what I was going to share that I wanted people not to, get upset about. But um, anyway, I think, well, I'll talk about this person that called me, and this is from another. I'm involved with International Association of Near-Death Studies, and I run a group for them for people to share their experiences. And I had, I'll just say, a fan reach out to me and make some comments, and I just immediately text or emailed back, and it was a great conversation back and forth. Well, I forgot that I have my phone number on it. It was like, it's an old email, and it had my phone number on the, what's it called, signature.
Yeah.
Well, this person called me at 7 a.m. on yesterday morning. And because it was a Florida number and my daughter is having her wedding there. And I mean, I'm going through all of this stuff. That's the other thing. My daughter's wedding, has been canceled again. So I saw the number and I thought 7 a.m. My God, there must be something happening, or like I needed to take the call. Well, it turns out it was this person who I had emailed. And, and I just felt like she was not being conscious. And if you're watching, please hear this from my heart. I don't know. I was so taken aback that somebody would call somebody on a Sunday morning, and she's like, well, I don't even know what time it is there. I'm like, okay, Google it, like figure out what time are you calling somebody. And then 3, when they say, wow, I just woke up and I'm, doing my meditation, I thought this was an emergency phone call, then say, I'm sorry, maybe we can get together, or, I'd like to talk to you another time if possible. But no, none of those things happened. And she proceeded to just unload on me. And I know I'm feeling angry and upset right now. And I'm just like, and I tried to email her 3 or 4 times yesterday, because then she emailed me about a dozen times after the phone call. And then she's like, oh, I'm sorry if I offended you. And I'm just like, what is happening right now? I feel
So my question to you, Lisa, would be, where's your stuff in this? Because it's all about clarifying boundaries.
Yes.
And, since we've started the Real Onez, Lisa and I have had to really clarify boundaries with people, because we have information, people want to lean on us for support, and that's awesome. But we've had to clarify our own boundaries, because as this thing gets bigger, it's about identity creation, right? Mm-hmm. So if we are the people that we say we want to be, and on the big screen and sharing with hundreds of thousands of people what we know, and helping people to release energy and clear their fields to create, then we can't be just called or text messaged or contacted, because we have to create this level of boundary. We also have to protect our energy fields right now. That's super important. So if you've got a lot of problems and you've got a lot of issues and you want to share them with us, awesome. Contact us through our email, goldynandlisa@gmail.com, and let's set up an energy clearing session, which is totally donation based. And then everyone can benefit from your situation, because we're all going through the same challenges.
I love it. And absolutely, it's my stuff. And that was it. I kept saying, I want to create a boundary. And then I'm like, but I totally just, I gave her my phone number, like, again, kind of unconsciously, because it was on my email.
Yep.
So, it's about boundaries, and just feeling like, wow, I allowed like a breach.
It's boundaries and access, allowing that access, and then just saying, because I have a lot of people that reach out to me a lot on inbox and stuff, and I won't always answer, because I am in but I will if it feels right. So I'm kind of going through my own intuitive stuff, but it's gonna get crazier. So we have to.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's exactly right, because I didn't respond to any of the emails, and then she's like, "Oh, you must be mad at me," or and I'm just like, "No, I just don't have
put your
time.
stuff on me."
I get like 100 emails every day, and I don't have time to answer them all, and so it just gets overwhelming. And so I think that's part of it, is just I'm overwhelmed with the amount of, connection that people are wanting. And yet I want to be there. I want to be open-hearted.
Which is so that's that vibrational resonance, right? I'm overwhelmed. So give me more things to feel overwhelmed about. That's going to help trigger me. That's going to help me to actually pay attention, so I can clear this.
Yeah. I love it. So
it's an invitation.
Guys, this is how it works. This is why Goldyn and I been connecting for the last, 3 years and helping one another. Cause this is like a conversation we'd have on the phone,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah.
so where's your stuff in this? Like, what's
Yeah.
this bringing up for you? And how can we clear it? And yet when you're in the trigger mode, you're like,
No.
what is this other person doing?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's always their fault. And it's
Why
like,
are they doing this to me? How dare they?
and
Yeah.
it's a perfect reflection of where we are,
Yeah.
and an opportunity to really just be like, wow, isn't this interesting? I'm feeling really triggered by this person. So again,
Yeah.
namaste. I love you. You're not doing anything wrong, but I just need a little boundary here.
Yeah. Which is a good message for everybody, because if we empty ourselves out and we give too much without any kind of exchange of energy, then we're no good to anyone. And then we're just live in a constant state of trigger. So if you're living in a constant state of trigger, it's time to pull back, and it's time to go within and do the inner work to release that vibrational resonance with overwhelmment. How many of us walk around feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah.
And then the universe just shits all over us, because that's what overwhelmment does.
That's what we're attracting. That's what we're vibrating at. We're vibrating at overwhelm. So it's like, oh, they want more. Okay.
Exactly. It's all about those feelings. So, going within and saying, how do I feel about this? And how do I feel about this? And getting really good about asking yourself those questions will deprogram you, first of all, to the fact that your feelings don't matter. And then it will help you to start to clean things up of, well, if I feel this way about this, do I have to feel this way? Or can I just set up some boundaries moving forward that are not going to evoke these feelings of trigger from some trauma that happened,
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. And and it's all about beliefs, and what we like, what do you want to believe? What do you want to create? And so let's talk about manifestation, because you've been on fire for the last 45 minutes.
Well, it's funny, because as things are happening in our world, it's really easy to start giving into what we're seeing and what's being projected. Let's just say it's a big fat projection, and it's a big projector screen, and we're either going to sit there with our popcorn and watch it, or we're going to start making decisions about being powerful creators and not allowing ourselves to be tuned into frequencies that are not optimal. And some may say that that's, putting your head in the sand. And I've heard that, and people have actually called me out on my shit. Like, oh, it must be great to live such a great life. And it's like, that's not the point. The point is, yes, I live a fantastic life, but I've done a lot of work to get here. So I'm not going to apologize to anybody for that. And I'm not going to actually take away from my life experience because somebody isn't experiencing this. The work that I'll do is share what I know and help other people to get to this place of fantastic life.
I love that so much.
Yeah. You can't get sick enough to make someone healthy. You can't get sad enough to make somebody happy. You can't, lower the vibration of your life and raise other people's vibration at the same time. You have to live in the joy and take a little bit of flack about living in that joy in order to actually share it and uplift others.
Yeah, I love that. It's so funny. The other day I was down at the beach doing my yoga, and I don't know, I just done a headstand or something. And then this one walks by and she's like, I'm so jealous. And I'm thinking, how about
come here? Let's do this. Come on.
Instead of being jealous, how about say, wow, that's so inspiring. Can you show me how to do that or something? I mean, and I used to have a secretary, the same thing. We'd go out on the street for lunch or whatever, and she'd see a beautiful woman walking by on the other side, and she'd just be like, look at that bitch. And I'm like, she's beautiful. What are you talking about?
I really feel like it's a human programming, and there's something inside of us, whether it's like an unworthiness thing. We had a competition at the gym last weekend, and I get a little competitive. I'm not going to lie. That's why I don't take part in network marketing, because I get competitive and I can really lose my sense of self. Mm-hmm. So I definitely got competitive, and I work so hard, so hard. And this woman beat me by like 9 minutes. And I was like, did she cheat? Like, and I felt myself like not liking her. Like I had these feelings of, and I really had to look at that because that's not me at all. I celebrate people's successes.
Right.
So I looked within and I was like, wow. And what is this competitive edge about too? You know, why do I need to be
Yeah.
better?
Why do you need to win? Right.
Yeah. So there was a lot of work in that for me. And I'm being overly nice to her now because I feel like this is my way to clear it and heal it.
So what did you discover? Like what is it about? Is it something that like a wound or a childhood thing? Like you had to
Yeah,
be the
for
best?
sure. Yeah, for sure. It's just that unworthiness. And like, I think being probably in a family of siblings where, you know, I was always kind of the good one, you know, always the one who did the right things for my parents. So
Mm-hmm.
I would receive love through that, through my good actions. Yeah. Instead of believing that I was just worthy of love, I did things so it would make them love me. So yeah, for sure.
So if
Yeah.
you're competitive and win and, you know, you're
And everybody's going to love me, but that's not true.
No.
Apparently not true. So, and then I thought, wow, what is the need to win all the time? Like, what is that energy about? And that's, I mean, that's ingrained in us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not so much more now that we give participation trophies, but it feels good to win, but also looking at it from a perspective of, do we need to win in order to feel good?
Right.
Or can we feel good when other people win?
And it's so interesting too, because, you know, and I've never been competitive, so I don't know and that's been an issue because then of course, you know, you're not trying hard enough, or you're just, you know, like I would always make my kids shake hands, you know, after a board game or whatever and say good game. And I just, and again, my ex-husband was like, I think you ruined our children by, you know, by making them not competitive. And I'm just like, really? I'm like, and again,
I don't know.
I understand that we can't all be equal. I mean, there are definitely people that are, you know, better swimmers than others, or, I mean, I understand, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. To me, the competition just creates like this adversary, and I don't like that. So I don't know what that's about in me.
It's interesting because in the face of competition, you do rise above, you do quantum leap, you do step into things that you never thought you could do before. So from that, but I think what the question always is to ask is, why do I need to win? Why, you know, what are the feelings that are coming up for me that create this level of competition in me? Do I need to feel like I'm the best? Or, you know, is it a competition with myself? Or, and then looking at other people when you don't win and saying, how do I really feel about this? Well, it's a window. It's a giant window. And it's our societal programming about,
and it's
about
evolution,
winning.
right? I mean, if you didn't win, you don't survive, like basically.
True.
I mean, you gotta, like, that's what, and I think over the years, you know, the more the evolution just, it's winner, 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 winner. And so now here we are in this, you know, everybody's this kind of, not everybody, but a lot of people are very, driven to win, and it's just kind of an intense society. I mean, our society here in the United States is very much that way, about, you know, you've got to be the best, and if you're not it, there's 10 people behind you ready to take your spot, you know.
Which causes separation.
Totally. Well, absolutely. There's no, it's not, there's no, what's the word, cooperative connection with people, and working together and synergy. And see, that's what I like. I'm all about synergy, and I love brainstorming with other people and coming together. And I mean, because the more ideas that you have together, I mean, to me, you create better and better ideas. But when it's competition and it's like, you know, no, I'm going to steal this idea, or I'm going to not share my ideas because I don't want somebody else to get the competitive edge over me. Ugh, that's kind of where we're at.
It shows lack in the universe, you know, energy, there is no lack in the universe. And there's, you know, this arena for everyone to win in a way that, like, if somebody else is wins and you feel really happy for them, then everybody really won, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder why we need to do that. Like, why we need to acknowledge people and why we need to have this competitive edge, like where it started.
Yeah. What is that about? It's,
like,
why do we need to have, you know, who's the fastest runner, or who's
the Olympics and all
who's the, as opposed,
egos.
what's that?
Our big fat egos.
Yeah, big fat egos. Let's see who's the best.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, I do think it is, the survival of the fittest. It's just kind of nature, because if you're not always striving,
Right.
then, it's
Dying.
like you're either living or you're dying. You're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. There's no static. So
Right. And I do really like things that pull you away from your comfort zone and challenge you.
Yeah, I agree. Again, there's a line, right? There's a line of, I don't know, is there cooperative competition? I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look deeply at this, because there is a lot of competition in this gym that I go to. And my mantra for a long time has been, I have nothing to prove. That's why I won't jump off cliffs or out of airplanes, because I really don't want to do that. And I feel like I have nothing to prove.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as I journey through this, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, just another facet to, explore and move beyond the current beliefs. I think that's what's so fun in doing all this and talking with you. And again, it's expansion, right? It's like, oh, wow. If I can get outside of this paradigm of like, I have to always win, and there's this competitive edge, and like making that like a good and like the thing, it's like, oh my God, what else is out there if it's not that? Like, how can I expand in other ways or whatever? So that's kind of cool.
I like that. Yeah. It's being curious and asking questions.
Totally. I just want to see if anybody's got any questions, or I don't know. Do you have
we are manifesting on Mondays. I have my phone. Hang on.
Yeah. Let me see here. I've got my phone here too.
I can get off of this.
Yeah. Where is it? So exciting. I'm excited. I'm just loving life. I went down to the beach this morning.
A whole new day, right?
Oh my God. It was so beautiful. I'm out in the water. My new mantra, I sat on Zoom with a Buddhist priest a couple of weeks ago, and his loving kindness meditation was, we talked about this, I think, is I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. So I was just out in the ocean. I'm like, I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. And just, oh my God, it's like, seriously.
And crazy. She's crazy.
And crazy. Yeah. Crazy. But it's just the waves that come and go. My God, yesterday or Saturday was just such a emotional day. I found out a really, really dear friend is in the hospital, and she's near the end of her life. She's older, so it's not, it's not anything to do with what's happening, but that was heartbreaking to me. And then my daughter's wedding was supposed to be on Saturday, and then I did the breakup.
I know that's what we were supposed to do for our 4th of July, and
it was kind of an intense day. Not to mention it was a full moon and eclipse, and I guess there's like five planets out of retrograde or something. So yeah, it's a little bit of an intense time right now.
You want to blame things on the planets? Go right ahead.
Do it. We've got lots of planetary blame going around. Did we find, is anybody saying anything to us?
Yeah, we've got some people. PD says, thanks for the combo. It made me realize that the person I feel the most steamrolled by is the very same one that I have not set boundaries with.
Wow. That's a good takeaway. I like that.
Jenna's here. Can't listen. Just going to watch later. Thomas is here from Sedona. Hey Thomas. Guys. And Karen is here from Connecticut. She's not competitive either.
So thank you, Karen. We can hang out together and just, do little synergy things or something. But don't call me. Don't call me at 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Good Lord.
Don't call us. We'll call you.
But truly, like we do, I love that. If you have something going on, let's jump on.
We're excited to clear energy with people, especially the way that we're doing it now, because one of the reasons I moved away from private sessions is because we felt like our work wasn't growing as exponentially as it should when you're doing this type of work. To be able to do it for a lot of people at the same time just feels so much cleaner to us.
Yeah.
And just the charging aspect of it, being able to do it donation based feels very clean. And we ask for the donation after the session so that you can put a value on what you received. And that feels, oh my God, that's the best part of it. That's part of one of the best things that I think we came up with about it was just this feeling of letting people give what they feel is
what their value, what the values they put on it, because it just, you and I have never been in that mode or felt comfortable, asking. And
Yeah. And I've done it, and I've charged lots and lots of money for people to work with me. And I loved that, but it always felt like a pressure and expectation that it just doesn't feel clean. And that's
although we are putting together our $1 million offer. So if you want to work with us for a year, it's $1 million.
Thank you, Fred Dodson. If you have not watched our game show, Jesus, get on there. That thing
Get on and watch, because his was 5 million. So we're a bargain. You get 2 for 1 million. I mean, that is like the best deal of the century.
Totally. And I'll never forget the way I felt. I had followed Fred for a while, and I was listening to his book, Parallel Universe of Self. And I went on his website and saw that he charged $5 million. And I was like, holy crap. And then to have him on our show was like the next level for me, because I already put him like way up here, and to be able to be with him and have him share things he's never shared before was like, if you haven't listened,
that was probably one of the most fun things I've done this
so
year.
Entertaining.
It was so entertaining. And your husband Michael was the best MC, and our judges. I love our judges.
I know. I talked to Diane later, and she said that she was high for the rest of the day. I was as well. And she could do this every day of her life. And I totally agree.
I know. And we're looking to we're going to do it again. We're just looking, we got to find the right people for the other competitor to come on.
Contestants. Absolutely.
But yeah, it was so much fun. And I had people reach out and say, oh my God, you guys should charge for this or do something. And
it was so fun.
It was so exciting. And it was, oh my God, it was just such a revelation. And meanwhile, I'm like, oh my God, I have so many stories that I could share. I'm going to start writing down just so I've got, because they kind of come and go.
Yeah. Well, and I think we prompted each other too, because there were definitely stories that I could have shared that didn't feel right in that moment.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
It was all good. We didn't win, but again, in the face of competition, I felt so good that Fred did win. And I wanted him to win just because he was our guest and he agreed to be there.
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of the idea, right? Is that he's going to win. I mean, I just knew he was going to win. Given that he had, and I mean, my God, the stories he shared were incredible. And again, things that he has never shared. And that's why he agreed to come on, because he's like, hey, I've been there, done it. I've talked to, so many interviews. He's like, unless you come up with something different. And then both Goldyn and I had the same exact idea for the title.
That was amazing. And it flowed really well. My favorite line was when he said, this is really working.
Yes. You're like, yay. And I love it. So when I upload the things to YouTube, they only give me 3 options for the little thumbnail. And again, if anybody's listening and wants to help us with getting better pictures on there, please, because I'm just doing the bare minimum to get them up there and get them on.
Our pictures make me laugh.
But anyway, I know, me too. So I get to choose one of 3 pictures, and the picture I chose was of Goldyn, just like, my mind is blown.
It was blown the whole time. The fact that we even got him on there blew my mind.
It was great. And it was so good. And I think it was our longest show. It was like an hour and 20 minutes or something.
It was fantastic.
It was so much fun. So good.
So in the world of manifesting, what are we working on? We didn't really have anyone share what they were working on, huh? Oh, Karen did. Karen Pascarella.
Yeah.
So she had shared that she's working on a health and wellness business. She's really excited about it. I know she's taking some courses on that right now. And she is manifesting a life on a boat. They're going to move on to a boat.
Wow, that's cool.
Dana Point, California. So I thought Dana Point is about 15 minutes from me. So I thought, wow, I could really amp up this energy by being there with her. I did this actually with Pete Dawson a little while ago.
Yeah.
Where I actually felt myself in his English garden sipping his mocktails. We were making mocktails.
Nice.
And so we can amp up the energy for other people, which Fred shared with us in the game show, is how we can do this with and for other people. So when you're in alignment with people and you create that group synchronicity and energy, if you've ever meditated in a group, it's like fantastic.
Amps up for sure.
And I feel like when we do that on here, it definitely amps up the energy because we have people taking part.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to not share with everyone what your dreams are, but share with those people who want to help you
Yeah.
up
Who
your
are
dream.
supportive of your dream. That's
So
great. So what can we do for
Karen,
her? Like
yeah,
right
so
now,
for
do you want to do
Karen,
it?
I honestly feel like she is in the manifestation. I mean, she's in the energy of it. She's excited. If you ever see her face on Facebook, she is lit up like a Christmas tree. Like this woman she exudes joy, and joy is the frequency of everything you are looking to create. So I would just say, stay in the energy of that more. And one piece of advice I've been giving to a lot of people today is back away from the money so much
Yeah.
and just really get in the energy of helping people, because that's where all the abundance is. And that does not mean you give things out for free.
Mm-hmm.
Done that, been there, that sucks, because there's no exchange of energy. It's just being really honest and authentic with people and saying, what do we feel is a good exchange of energy, or putting a price on it that feels good to you is fine. I like intuitive pricing. I've done that with people where I just kind of go within and see what feels right. But things get so murky with money that if we just go foot forward with the helping and the serving and the loving, and create an energetic exchange through offering value. I get paid all the time from people that it's very surprising sometimes to me how much they pay, because they're just in value. And I'm just like, whatever you feel is good for you. Maybe we're going to step more into a society of that instead of believing our money only comes from certain places.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And that's it to me too. It's really bypassing the money, because that's where people get stuck. Then they think, oh, well, this is the way, because people, when they're trying to manifest, a lot of people get focused on, oh, well, I need X amount of money in order to do what I want to do. No, let go of that piece and allow the universe to surprise you with how it shows up. Because again, if we think we need X amount of money, and then the universe, because you don't have it, you're in the wanting mode. And
Yep.
so then the universe just keeps it from you, because you're like, well, until I have the money, I can't do it. And so, so they don't want the money because that's the mode they're in. That's the vibration they're in. So if you can bypass the money and just be like, I am completely supported by the universe, and I am open to any and all possibilities of how this is going to unfold, and then let it unfold.
So I have two stories. One story is when we were moving to California and we made that, definite decision that we were going to move. We put a price on the amount of money that we wanted to manifest. And because we did that, we manifested 20,000. We wanted 30,000. If we had 30,000 and we had been a little more patient, it would have been better for sure. But we were able to feel the freedom of going with $20,000. And the other one is my daughter recently wanted to move from Arizona to California and told the universe that she was going to do that in April of 2020. And then she called me, this was back in February, and said, I'm going to wait because I don't have the money right now. And I would feel better doing it in September versus April, because that's coming up way too fast. Not comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID hit. And because of that, she lost her job, was in this deep state of quarantine that she didn't want to do by herself. So she ended up coming here. And then we started looking for places for her and nothing was manifesting. And then Michael had a hit up somebody that he knew that had a house that was empty. They're going to renovate it soon. And ask, and she actually got that house for $100 a month. So she's had that for the last 3 months. And, the fact that this child questions anything anymore just boggles my mind, because she's been able to save up money. She now has a job. She now has flow of money. And she's still like, oh, now I got to move out. And I'm like, you're fine.
Right. Like embrace it.
You manifested already,
Right.
So you don't know the miracles and things that are in store for you when you take those leaps of faith. And if you're too scared to take the leap of faith, oftentimes the universe will either make it so bad that you just jump because you can't take it anymore, or it will create scenarios to kind of push you into situations. So I like just taking the leap of faith myself and not waiting until things are so bad that I'm going out of my mind. That's how I like to do it.
Me too. I love that. And it makes me think of what I was going to say earlier about about people and boundaries and all that stuff. But so this is the other thing. Okay. So I got divorced 3 years ago and moved to Maui, and I've dated a few people. And yet I have people tell me, well, you just need to be alone, or you just need to do this, or you just need to do that. And it's like, you know what? Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
advice. But I have an open heart, and I love to be in a relationship. And, again, I don't know when and if I'll have another date or have another relationship, but it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for your advice and
Well, and
your
it's listening to your inner
ideas.
guidance. Like that's the most
Right.
important piece of all of this is getting
Totally.
people to listen to their inner guidance.
Right. Right. And I feel like from every relationship I've had, no matter how short or how long or how intense or how lack of intensity there was, I've learned so much about me, right? I mean, that's the whole
You've
point. Like,
grown exponentially.
right, I am completely a different person than when I got here, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for every single person that I've been in connection with, and I definitely have learned a lot about myself in this last relationship, and I've just ordered 4 books that I'm so excited to learn more about communication and how I communicate and how to more clearly communicate with other people. And so yeah, I don't regret
So it's
any of it.
interesting. It's interesting what a relationship of poor communication can lead to. And that's the
Right.
contrast. Like
Right.
when people understand, like that's the contrast of knowing so strongly what I don't want that I'm going to put all my focus into what I do want now, it transforms
Totally.
your life.
Because right, I just wasn't aware of my, some of these blind spots. And that's what they are. They're complete blind spots. And that's why they're called blind, because you don't know you have them until suddenly something, confronts you about it. And you're like, holy cow, I had no idea that this was an issue that I needed to work on. I mean, just kind of like the competition thing that you were saying earlier. It's like, wait, why is this an issue? Like,
didn't even know that was there.
Right. I didn't even know that was there. But now that I'm aware of it, I want to look into it. And that's what I love about this time right now. The great pause that we've had is that it's been a beautiful time, and even continuing, because who knows when this is ever going to be over. But for every individual to go within and just look at, what do I believe, and what's working, what's not working, what can I do to, improve myself. Like I went on, and when I ordered my books, there was a great one about like it's something about being too nice and how that can just really mess you up. I ordered that one because I feel like sometimes I'm too nice, right? And it's about boundaries. Again, it's about clearly stating what you want and what you don't want. So I'm
Which
excited.
is not always easy, and it's not what we've been taught.
Especially especially women in our society. We have been taught to be nice girls, be a good girl, be a good girl. I mean, and I just took that to heart, and it's been painful because again, everybody else around me I think is happy, and really they're probably not either, because I'm being the good girl. It's like, what?
Well, and I find it really interesting. I had this one time when I was doing this show, I was doing some shows in Connecticut with the public broadcasting.
Yes, you and you invited me on. That was
we did. Oh my God. We had an epic show.
We should find that in the archives somewhere.
We should. That's what created the seed of this, was like when we realized how much we loved being together and talking,
and how good we are together.
So there was this woman, and this was right before I was kind of leaving for California. So it was one of the last, I think it was the last show I actually did. And we were supposed to do a show together, and then her car broke down or whatever. So we put it off. And the day we put it off, it was like pouring rain. So I'm like, great, my hair is going to look like crap. I didn't feel like doing it, but I didn't say anything because I was like, oh, I really owe this to her. I don't know. I didn't owe it to her. But the interesting thing is, we did the show together, and it was fine. It was fine. And then I found out later she redid the show with the guy who put me on as a guest host because she didn't like the way she looked in the video. So I'm like, you know what? I wasted 3 hours of my time by being obligatory. I just hate being obligated to things instead of listening to my inner guidance that says you shouldn't do it. So that has always been a lesson to me, as far as like when I do things, I really ask within, is this right for me? May sound selfish, but the fact of the matter is that when you say no to something that you really want to say no to, everything always works out for everybody else even better than if you had said yes and did it out of obligation.
Absolutely. And I find that over and over and
over.
over when I'm running late for whatever reason, it's almost like the universe is slowing me down. And then I text a person, I'm like, I am so sorry I'm running late. And they're like, oh, thank God, because
Me
da 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 da
too.
da. And I'm like, wow. So it's literally listening to that intuition and following the guidance, and not, again, so what if you're late? Like, what is, like, where are we going to be if, you know, it's not for brain surgery. It's not, I mean, you know, again, like, why? I mean, I understand we have time so that we can coordinate and get together at the same time, but like,
I do have a mantra that I never say I'm late. I always say that I am showing up at the perfect time, and
yeah, that's good.
it always is the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, when I feel rushed, my mantra is, I have more than enough time to do everything I want to do. And that expands time like you would not believe.
There you
like
go.
that.
And we all know people that say I'm always late. You know, those people that say I'm always late. So they identify with being always late. If you don't want to be late,
Don't say
then
that.
stop saying that. Say I always have more than enough time. I always show up on time, and you'll see, like, the universe is gonna give you more time.
And don't say I'm terrible at remembering people's names. I can never remember people's names. Yeah, stop doing that. Because, and for me, I asked my angels, I'm like, help me remember this person's name. And everything shifted after that. And granted, because I'm getting older now, my brain isn't quite as sharp as it used to be. But I'm telling you, I'll be in a grocery store. This was back in Connecticut. I'll see somebody I haven't seen in 5 years, and their name just boom right there. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm so good at people's names, you know?
Can shift any of that. And the way that I've shifted that is I don't have any resistance around it, and I'll just ask again.
Yeah, right.
And I say,
God forbid you ask again what somebody's name is, right? In our society.
Everybody does that. Everybody forgets.
Yeah.
Just remind me of your name again.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, what we focus on expands, and what we believe we create. So we are in charge of all of it. So if there's things that you're doing that are like annoying to yourself, and you have taken on that identity and created it from talking about it, from deciding it, from constantly being like, this is who I am, you can change it at any time that you want to by stopping your saying, stop saying it.
Right.
And then, you know, stop,
create a new,
that are underneath it. It's fantastic. It's such
a it's so cool. And that's it. And really, you can wake up and be a completely different person if you choose to be.
Yeah, listen to Parallel Universe of Self. You can see.
Oh my gosh,
that totally recreate yourself.
I love that. That, and then watch Kumari, and like, boom.
Yes,
like
Kumari was fantastic.
Absolutely.
And that was Amazon Prime, I think. Kumari. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I mean, again, you can Google it and see where it's on right now. But cool. Awesome. I think that's all I got.
All about manifesting, people. It's all about focusing on your desires, writing it down. Strongest form of focus is writing it down, and it's believing, thinking, feeling, expecting things to always work out for you, because they always do. Sometimes it just takes you take little detours to get there because you forget. And then the universe is constantly reminding us, which grows our faith, expands and grows our faith, so that we have a stronger foundation moving forward, so we can step more into knowing.
I love it. And it's so fun. I mean, I had a little surprise thing happen today that I was just like, what? And that's it. These little jewels that just show up. That
are you going to share what that is?
No, I'm not going to. No! I'm going to keep that secret, because
to be continued, people.
Yes, to be continued.
Yeah, we got to keep you guys listening. We got to keep you watching for other episodes.
All right, we're going to say goodbye to our Facebook friends, and we're going to jump over to YouTube and probably pull some cards.
All right.
Love. Aloha. All right, we are still here on YouTube, and I think we should pull some cards about manifestation. What do you think?
I think we should. We actually had something from Thomas.
Oh, shoot. I didn't see it.
Yeah, we'll have to acknowledge it from...
Yeah, well, what does it say there? We can talk about it right now.
Well, it just started the video over again. Hold on.
Oh, but wait, I think oh, really? It doesn't...
Okay, here we go. I had a crazy, this is for Thomas. Thomas, hopefully you're on YouTube with us, our podcast. I had a crazy 4 weeks, doctors, more doctors, stuff from childhood issues, being in the hospital for the first 10 years of my life, and non-cancerous ear sun damage work. Yikes. But I found I had shadow work, feeling abandonment thoughts still years later. I worked through a lot of it, and that was great. Also, I got the apartment I wanted in Sedona. Hooray. I
Woo!
know he's been working on that for a while. Needed 1,600, and then 2 days later, I got 1,800 out of nowhere. It was out of somewhere. Yay, a roller coaster ride. It is the planet's fault. I love it,
Oh my
Thomas.
God, Thomas, that is so cool. I am so thrilled about
Yeah,
all
Thomas,
that you
I'm
shared that.
totally. And I definitely feel like there's still more work to do on that, because when you're faced with something like that for a significant amount of your time at such a young age, those belief systems are going to be like, they're cemented in there. So there's going to be layers that you work through. But from now moving forward, it's really just about recognizing those thoughts that evoke those feelings and then breathing through them and asking, do I need to believe this? Because we have survival modes that we go in, and that
Yeah.
survival mode is what those things served. So you may need some of those still to be in this life experience. So it's just digging through the layers and knowing that you are so good. You are so well. You are so cared for. If that didn't just show it, I
Oh my
freaking love
gosh,
it.
that is amazing. And I can relate so much to the abandonment. I mean, so many of us
Yeah.
have those feelings. But yeah, the abandonment, and it just, for me, it just keeps coming up. And every time I clear a layer, I'm like, oh, thank goodness. But then, it just allows a new level
But it doesn't come up
to
for
rise
you
up.
as strongly as it
No,
did before. And it just
no.
shows like your process and how you have healed. I mean, just the way you handled this weekend, it's just such
Yeah,
a testament to you not going in victim mode. I mean, that was
absolutely.
huge,
It
huge.
was so huge.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm just so, I just felt so strong, and I felt so supported by universe. I really,
Yeah.
and that's, oh my gosh, on Saturday, I was kind of beside myself. Like, what am I going to, like, how, I was just so nervous. Right. And so then
Yeah.
I just was like, okay, God, universe, please be with me. I don't know what to do next. And I just heard very clearly, take a shower. I'm like, oh, okay. Be in the
That's
moment, take a
easy.
shower. All right, I'll go do that. And then it was like, I'm start panicking again. And it's like, I was invited to a friend's house for a party. So it's like, go to Eric's house. So I'm like,
Nice.
okay. And meanwhile, I had to surrender because I couldn't figure it all out. And then I got there, and two of my really, really dear friends that I've known on the island, since I moved here, were there, and they were so supportive and just so loving and caring. And the party was wild. There were all these crazy things happening. I felt like I was
distraction.
distraction. And I just had so much fun. And they had hired a chef with really amazing, yummy food. So I was totally nourished and supported. And then, I went and I called in my angels, and
Well, that's
boom,
really
it was over in like
though.
5 minutes. It was like a 5-minute thing. And again, he was wonderful. I know he was a bit taken aback, but at the same time, he was very gracious, and so I was glad about that.
That's really good advice for when you're facing something and you're about to, when you're about to come on something that's giving you so much fear and anxiety. It's like, just do the next thing.
Yes.
Just take a deep breath, go within, and just do the next thing. And oftentimes it's about pulling yourself back to the present moment.
That was it.
Again, nothing is happening right now in
present
here.
moment. And I was trying to plan it all out. I was trying to like, okay, I'm going to go do this. And it's like, no, like, where are you right now? Oh, you need to take a shower, Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're in a situation where, like Goldyn just said, it's like, you're just beyond, freaking out or whatever, just come back to this moment, breathe, and ask, what's my next step?
I had a situation this past weekend with my granddaughter. On Thursday night, she was swinging on my 2 chairs with her arm, and we were having a great time, and everybody was happy, and the mood was very light, and her arms gave way, and she smacked her face on the floor.
Poor baby.
And I was right next to her. Like, I could have caught her if I was present. Like, if I was really being present, I might have been on my phone. That part just breaks my heart.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so we pick her up, and she's bleeding. Her mouth is bleeding. And, I keep going into this, oh my God, I don't want her to lose her tooth. I mean, she's only 3 years old. I really want her to keep her teeth till she's 6. And she's going with her dad the next day for 9 days. Or 2 days. There was 2 days. So she's crying, and she's just, I'm telling you, my grandbaby getting hurt is worse than my kids.
Wow.
I don't know why that is, but I was heartbroken. Like, it was just really affecting me. But then I realized, I started texting you, and I started texting my prayer warriors, my people that call in more angels. And I realized as I was worrying and worrying and worrying that I was just creating what I didn't want. So I kept pulling away and going, what do I want? I want her to be fine. I want her tooth to heal. And turns out we think it was just a soft tissue injury. And I think she's fine now. I got to find out from her dad. But whoo, man, talk about expansion and allowing yourself to focus on what you really want and to trust that there's non-physical support. That's huge.
Yes, absolutely.
And we can do it for other people.
Right. And to me, that was a big step when I just finally, kind of cried out to the universe and was like, please guide me. I'm just at a loss here. And then it was so just
obvious.
Just come back to this present moment and take a shower. Like, oh, okay. I can do that.
Absolutely. Oh, I love it. All right. So what are we pulling cards for? I have my cards today.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. That's cool.
I'm putting them with my microphone now, so I remember.
Oh, that's a good idea. You
can so what are we pulling cards about? Is this about non-physical support?
Yeah, let's do that. I love that idea because that's really helpful.
Calling on your angels more, calling on miracles, calling on that infinite energy of God's source to be with you.
Yeah. And anytime you feel overwhelmed or things aren't working the way you want them, or you're in a, like that, where somebody is injured or hurt or whatever, it's like, let's call on our divine, the ultimate intelligence that's out there. And
absolutely.
Okay, so I don't know. The first card I pulled was joy. What did you get?
Which is usually the blockage card,
blockage card, yeah. Oh, well, that makes sense to me because you're blocked from your joy. You're completely in a panic
anytime you're
mode
feeling fear and anxiety, you're actually blocking all the infinite wisdom that could come to you.
For sure.
Victory.
Well, again, it's like you feel like you can't have victory because you're lost in your mind. That's what I felt this weekend. I was just completely. I was churning it in my mind, and I'd fallen out from my heart center, and and I was not in joy. I was just like, So it's kind of that
you're not winning. You're not in a state of winning when
you're not winning.
You're at a loss.
That's right. All right. So then, what is the action card? Ooh, gifts.
Adventure.
Oh, fun.
Why can't I? There we go.
There we go.
Adventure and gifts. So this is the action card.
Yeah.
So I think that for me, what's coming up for this card is there's a lot of people who are afraid to adventure, especially right now, afraid to live their lives more fully. And when we adventure, this is the part about our world right now that is driving me freaking crazy when I think about the fact that like God has been eliminated, miracles have been eliminated, the fact that we can heal our own bodies has been eliminated. Like these are the conversations that we need to get back into, in the fact that we are always loved, protected, and our well-being is always at the forefront. So this is what we got to get back to.
Yeah, this is an adventure. Like, let's stop treating it like we're in lockdown. Yeah. And the same with our gifts. Like, people are afraid to use their gifts, or they feel like they don't have gifts, or it's just
they don't know what their gifts are.
Right, or they don't know how to access their gifts. And it's like you don't even need to
go within.
All you need to do is go within. It's all in here, and just ask. Just ask. I mean, and for me, it just really helps to say it out loud and just say, God, show me what's my next step, and then just listen and just be guided.
And pay attention.
Yes.
When you're having conversations and you feel lit up, you'll feel the energy start to rise. You'll feel yourself in a lighter state. That's always worth looking into. I love
it. That's the vibration that a lot of people don't understand, but that's
why I can talk about manifestational energy for like 2 hours at least.
Exactly. I love it. And the outcome, I got celebrate.
Clarity.
Nice. Perfect. Those are the perfect outcomes. I mean, because once you have that divine guidance, or you get that, and I mean, you get clarity, you get instant clarity. Like I get instant clarity, and then celebrate. Like, oh my God, this is just, and say thank you. That's another thing is thank our divine wisdom and our angels and our guides and all that, because it's all about they love to help us, but also it's that exchange of energy. When you say thank you, that's exchanging energy with them.
Well, and it's acknowledging that you know, we have the power to do this. It's so easy to manifest and just keep moving on. Like, you know, once you manifest it, you're like over it. And that's why they
Right.
say the feeling is the manifestation, because it's really the feelings leading up to the manifestation that is the exciting part.
Right.
Once it's manifested,
You're
you're just,
like, eh.
what's next? Right? Usually it's like a day and you're like, okay,
That's
what's next? What am I working
exactly.
on next? What am I
I know.
dissatisfied about now? Right?
Right.
So
Right.
that's where it really comes into play, is that that adventure to the manifestation
Mhm.
is where all the juice
That's
is.
all the juice. I know. It's so exciting.
So take
It's so
time to
exciting.
celebrate, because that's really important, because that also amps up the energy and it shows the universe that, yes, I acknowledge and I appreciate what you have already done for me.
That's right. I love
Yeah.
that so much. That
Good.
is so awesome.
Good.
Yay. Oh my God. This was such a great conversation.
Yes. Thank you all for sharing and for
yes.
listening and for being with us and for being fans. We freaking love every one of
Oh
you
my
so
God.
much.
Absolutely. And it's 11:11 here. I love it. We started at
Yay!
1:11 in California and we ended 11:11 here in Hawaii.
Perfect as
So
that.
it's
Man, perfect alignment.
perfect alignment. All right, guys. We love you.
Love
Peace.
you.